It's obvious that our environment can be stressful, whether it's buzzing lights, an unpaid bill, or an angry roommate after you didn't do the dishes. However, something can only be stressful if you perceive it. So, if you can't hear the buzz or see your roommate, you're not likely to feel stressed. Sometimes stressors can sneak up into our senses even if we're unaware of it, like quiet hunger or a strong smell. Once you notice a stressor in your environment, the way you interpret or think about it affects your stress levels. During this primary evaluation stage, our brains automatically categorize any potential stressors as irrelevant, positive, or dangerous. It quickly ignores irrelevant stressors. Positive stressors, like a surprise birthday party or your dream job, turn into eustress and can lead to excitement or motivation. Dangerous stressors are sensed as a threat. Once you notice the threat, your body quickly has a secondary evaluation to determine whether or not you have the resources to deal with it. This happens automatically, and we are rarely paying attention to this process. When you have sufficient resources or you're rested, fed, and happy, your mind and body are capable of coping with these stressors. When there are insufficient resources or the stressor exceeds your capacity, you will likely feel distressed. Coping is how we deal with our stressors. These are the behaviors or thoughts that make a stressor more tolerable, like going for a walk or screaming into the void. You can cope by making changes to the stressor or change your relationship to the situation to cope by addressing how you feel about it. Feeling stress often leads to an emotional response and often more challenging emotions like anger, sadness, or guilt. Untreated stress and uncontrollable emotion is bound to manifest as illness, whether physical or mental. Stress activates our sympathetic nervous system, or the fight or flight response. It's clear how prolonged stress can impact our physical health. Biologically, the stress response is preparing you to address a threat or predator in a way that may or may not be necessary to deal with everyday tasks like taking a test or asking for help. A pounding headache or upset stomach makes it more difficult to perform the tasks of everyday living. Days of stomach pain escalate into stomach illnesses like irritable bowel syndrome or gastrointestinal problems. At the same time, distress can lead us to neglect our health. Maybe we drink in excess or try to eat our problems away. Over time, these behaviors and physical stress responses lead to changes in your body that can be related to physical diseases, such as impaired immune systems or irregular heart patterns. This can increase the risk of developing illnesses or worsen any illnesses you already have. Stress isn't necessarily going to escalate to illness. Emotion regulation can serve as a way to move from a challenging emotional state to coping, skipping the entire disease cycle. There are also strategies that can help to make better choices in the face of stress. Later, we'll talk about ways to use emotion regulation to cope with stress and why it's the main focus of BERT.